Hey there, everyone at home. Welcome back to the Gateway Wars. I'm your host, Harvey Barrel, and with me, as always, is Marlo, Art, and Styx. But today we do not have our little co-author Smash, a little overworked with real-life stuff, and Styx has a little technical difficulties with his video, his camera. You know, the thing that steals souls. Anyway, but other than that, we're raring to go. So we have Ariana, our Asimar, gothic dirge singing bard. We've got Thalgris Eventide, the dragonborn cleric from the Runic Empire, and Aaron Turnbuckle, the pugilist half-elf cousin of nobility. Lover of fights and lover of his parents. So, before we get into the meat and potatoes of our adventure, let's get this out of the way. As always, Skull Splitter Dice is a contributor to the Gateway Wars. If you're wanting some fancy hardcore metal dice that painful upon impact, Skull Splitter Dice is where it's at. And also Found Familiar Coffee, the new coffee of choice for gamers, at least in our neck of the woods. So if you need a little pick-me-up, go ahead and check out Found Familiar Coffee. So, last time, our adventurers had left in eccentric mansion that had been very timey-wimey. They had rescued their family, or Art's family, well, his dad, and many of the townspeople from his lumber community. And upon returning and the house leaving back to its travels, they were bombarded with messages from his mother, the elf general of the Gardenian Empire, whose messages started out rather plain and normal, but it seemed like a backlog of unanswered answering machine messages, as the last one became very dire and encrypted. They returned to Two Rivers with their survivors and found that the entire community there had been burnt down. Upon further investigation, they eventually discovered two old friends, Gator and the Eventide Uncle Senior, who have both been aged 15 years, as they have now discovered that there's been a time gap from when they left and when they've returned. They were also notified that Gardenia has fallen in their absence, the Runic Empire has taken over, and that the ideals of the Empire have been corrupted and flawed with the powers of necromancy. And now they head towards Gardenian Empire because they've heard that there is a neutral zone, a wizard's tower that they hope to attend. And stopping at a farmhouse on the road home, they found a little bit of treasure, a little bit of story, a little bit of sadness, and a creepy undead horse with a sword in its head like a necro unicorn. Did I miss anything, guys?
I think that's pretty much it.
Something about a bird.
Oh, and possibly a cursed necklace. Oh no.
Possibly a cursed necklace, that's right. Something about a bird? A bird. Damn it, Smash, why aren't you here?
There was a crazy raven around the farmhouse.
Yes, the crazy raven. But you went to investigate the horse before it reared up its head from the grass it was nibbling on, and you spot its undead form. And that's where we left off. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah. Been the last couple of weeks. You feeling this? You ready for this? You guys thought about this? What you're gonna do? Have you made a plan?
It's gonna be my new pet.
As good as all D&D plans.
Yeah, I was like, never. We're winging it.
Yeah, I'm seeing Aaron Turnbuckle here turn into a fucking druid or ranger here someday with how much he loves to just. Oh look, is it a weird animal? I want to make friends.
Like a ranger who doesn't use bow, he just deflects missiles at everything.
That's my archery. Your arrows. So yes, you guys are about probably like 30 feet away from the farmhouse itself in the tall grass. It's about hip height grass, which is why you couldn't see the horse's head when it popped up, and it's missing a great swath of the side of its face with the hollow cavity where an eye once was. And then when it turns its face to look at the party, you see that the other side of the face and the other half is all intact, but very a milky-eyed cataract look to it, and it's just absently chewing.
Not sure if we should go near that one.
You sure? Looks like. Well, I don't think it's happy with that thing on its head. Maybe we should take it out.
And it is about 60 feet away, just to give you guys some space.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an undead unicorn.
But don't. That's a sword. Not necessarily. That's not a. Unicorns have the bone thing. That's a metal thing. So I don't think it's the same thing.
I say we put it out of its misery, and I pull out a light crossbow.
All right. Then let's go ahead and roll initiative. Let's just get that rolled out right now.
14.
All right.
2.
Two.
20. Dirty 20.
Oh, all right, all right. So, 20, 14, and 2. All right, excellent, excellent. And what did my necromantic beauty... Well,
Undead beauty.
well, Undead Beauty is still idly just chewing while staring at you. And you have, Thalgris, you've loaded your crossbow, and the little click sound of getting the arrow or the bolt locked in caused the undead mare to shake its head and kind of start moving in your direction. But Ariana gets to go first.
So does it look like it wants to attack? Like it looks like it's like angry?
It is at a walk towards you, at a very, just a slow...
Okay. But it's not like...
It's not hoof
Aggressive.
pawn. It's
Yeah.
not like it shook its head a little bit, like if a fly was annoying the side of a horse's face when it heard the crossbow sound. It's like, and then it turned and started clopping its way.
I don't think Ariana at this point is going to attack, but she will like look at it and give it the like sweet pet voice sort of thing as best she can. Hi, sweetie. Looks like you got something stuck in your head.
Here, let me just pull the thorn from you, lion. It'll be fine. All right, so you are doing what? Maybe a handle animal check?
Yeah, I think so.
Handle that animal.
Ooh, oh, okay, 18. Alrighty. D&D Beyond, really just S&, my D over here.
D&D Beyond. The horse seems to have no reaction. Art. Well, is there anything else that you could you did an action? Do you have anything bonus or anything? Okay. And also movement. Any movement you would like to do? Your terrain is old farmhouse, tall, hip-high grass, and maybe like one lone tree that maybe was struck by lightning a few a few cycles ago. That is probably like a 90 degrees kitty corner from the house. Like you got the house, you got a tree, you got the horse, you got you guys.
No, I think just stand in my ground.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, when you say hip high, is it her hip high or is it like an average person hip high? Or is
It is an average person's hip high.
So
Yeah.
it's like
So for you, my Lilliputian friend, it's maybe like upper hip, maybe like half stomach.
perfect. No, this is totally Saturday morning cartoon vibes, right?
Perfect, yes.
All right, I'm gonna put them on my hood for my cloak, and I'm gonna duck down into the tall grass and just sneak up to the horse.
Okay, you're gonna try to be a little sneak. All right, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
I got it too.
All right, and do you are you so?
Wait.
Yes.
Okay, I can roll it one more time. I have advantage on stealth.
Oh, okay. You got some sort of monkish ability that lets you do that?
No, the really bright green cloak that he gave us. No, we all got our own little things.
Right.
I still have my cloak of elven kind, green cloak, and that give you that would turn into an 18.
Right.
I still have my cloak of elven.
That is excellent. Yes, you using the cloak from the man thing that kidnapped your father. You were well bribed, sir. Well bribed. Okay, so what was this new check? I apologize.
So this is my second roll for my stuff, and I got an 18. So.
You got an 18. All right, Ariana's like, oh, hey there. And you look over, you look at Thalgris, and just duck down. And if either of you would like to do a type of perception check to keep track of him as he moves, but he's just ninjas. He's and in the tall grass. The horse.
I was going to say I did a dirty 20 for perception.
So Styx, Thalgris, your keen eyes and your towering frame, being able to that much higher above the grass, you can still see the shifting grass move as he makes his trail. So you're able to keep an eye on him and know where he's at in case there's trouble. The horse does not seem to have noticed you. At least it hasn't made any motions as if it's noticed you. And you have moved. What's your full movement? 40?
Yeah, full movement is 40. Yes.
All right. So yes, you move 20 feet closer, in stealth mode, and are unseen. There's about 40 feet ahead of you. So if you do this for 2 more turns, you can sneak right up on it. Depending if it does not move this turn.
Okay.
Sneaking
I'm
moves at
good.
half movement. That's the only reason.
I gotcha.
And Thalgris.
Well, I have the crossbow out. I've watched the Gucci Goo and the Disappearing Act, and I've gone to hell with this and just lined up straight between the eyes and releasing a shot.
All right. Go ahead and take the shot, and go ahead and have advantage on it, since it isn't like actively. You're getting the first instigating shot upon it.
That's a 17.
17. 17, I'm pretty sure hits. Yeah, no, totally hits. Roll that beautiful beam footage.
That is for 5 damage.
5 damage. Okie dokie. Excellent.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon behind the horse's head.
Okay.
Which is a picture of a moon scythe.
Does it get to also attack this same turn that you summon it?
Yes.
Going by.
Wasn't as good. It was an 11.
An 11 just hits. So, as you bring up your crossbow, aim down the sight, and launch the bolt, it jammed itself right into the open cavity of the eye socket that was already vacated. And as it starts to rear its head from the impact, you summon your will and the will of your goddess, Shar, and an unnatural moon glow appears in the air during the daylight, as the crescent moon suddenly appears behind it, and the back of its head, as it's rearing back, then impales itself upon the blade of your crescent moon spiritual weapon. And it rears up in pain. And roll your damage.
That's 4 points of damage.
4 points. All right. And that's magic. What type of energy? Is it just force or holy? Or
Force damage.
Force damage? Okay. Thank you. So yeah, it just got rocked, just back and forth, just shish kebab in its already pierced head. It is now the horse's turn. Can't believe I rolled a freaking 1. Initiative. So it rocks. It lands on the ground after like rearing up, and then it gleams up, and there's a sickening black ichor that drips from its mouth now, and out of the wounds, a similar ichor, like a blackened blood, as it now charges directly at you, Thalgris. I'm guessing a mod or 20 hits you.
20 does hit.
Okay. So it comes charging through, and it lowers its head down for the charge. And as you're like loading in another crossbow bolt and you try to turn away in time, it catches underneath the plate of your pauldron and skewers into your shoulder for 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
I need you to make a
That's done.
DC 14 strength save.
I have a +4 and rolled a 9. So that's 13.
So as it, peels into your shoulder and like it digs in, and then the blade comes slicing out. So you're no longer impaled, but it reels at you. It spins you on your side, and you're just caught off balance with the weight of your armor and the force of the strike that you've fallen onto your back.
Got it.
Let's see here. Oh, shoot. I'm basing this off of a warhorse with modified stats for those of you at home who are wondering, how do you do a zombie horse? You do a regular warhorse, but with just some more hit points. And slight other tweaks. So the warhorse, because it did knock you prone, it gets to make a bonus attack and try to attack you with its hooves while you're on the ground. Does a 16 hit you?
No.
So it starts to pummel you with its hooves, and you're able to like turn enough to get your non-wounded shoulder up and get the pauldrons to take the brunt of the impacts as the clang 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 slamming against your shoulder. All impact but no damage. And then top of the round, Ariana.
Okay, we started this. I was looking it up, and I believe, given my the College of Nightmares, I picked undead as my thing, so I get advantage on something. I'm trying to find that, but let me see. What's a good spell to use here? Let me see. So you know what? I think Ariana was trying to like just be like, oh hi. Was trying to like but then when she sees it attacking Thalgris, but then she's like, okay, so we're doing this. She sees it and then pulls out her she's like, okay, so we're doing this. She sees it and then a different route than just spell casting. She pulls out her rapier and goes to swing on it.
Oh, all right.
Like shooting for like neck, hoping to like disconnect its neck from its body or something like that. Like something crazy like that.
By removing the head or destroying the brain. Repeat, removing the head or destroying the brain. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Just watched Shaun of the Dead last week and it was great.
Wow, the 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And let's see here. What's it? 1d8. That's true. Sorry, guys, a little slow. So that would be 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. Apparently doing all that stupid joke. My pen made it go dry. So as you flash of light glimmers off the reflection of your blade, and you stab in to the neck, and it just sinks right in. Like the body feels spongier than it should. As like you break the skin and then it just kind of slorks through, and you're able to just put this thing into the hilt, and now you're like your hand and hilt are like against the neck itself, as it like you were expecting more resistance and you fell in, did quite a bit of damage, and it doesn't have a physical response, as it were, because it still has. Like, you sunk into the side of the neck, and it's already, like, clashing and claiming on him. So you're just kind of like, you're able to pull it back out, but it was just like, the horse might have been here for a while.
Yeah.
And once again, you pull your blade out, and that reflective light that came off of it when you first unfurled it comes out just dripping with the same toxic tar-like ichor from the horse as you pull your blade out and wick it away. Any bonus action or movement?
Let me take a quick peek at this. Yeah, so I was thinking, I have that Bardic Desperation, and I don't think I've used it yet. And I don't know if it would work on an undead, though. So, Bardic Desperation, you weave magic with visions of nightmares, lacing it with fear that eats the mind. As a bonus action, you may spend one use of Bardic Inspiration. The target suffers disadvantage on its next attack roll, saving throw, or skill check. The target must make... It doesn't say anything about it being like undead and not affecting
If it doesn't say it does, if it doesn't give you any written as raw, any rules as written, no, you still affect and disorient the whatever is controlling. And
so the target, it must make a charisma saving throw against my spell save DC, which is... Where did I just find it? Yeah, 14. So it's got to pass 14 with a charisma check.
I got a 16, unfortunately.
Dang. So like, I like try to like put this like low tone into my voice and like try to like be super like as my blade sinks in, just be like, you don't want to do this. Like, go, like, run away. Like, don't attack us. And it like just totally sounds stupid and like totally planned. It just sounds like a terrible line from a bad like action flick or something.
You don't know what trouble you just caused there. You're gonna be glue, mister.
I'll look up at Ariana and just be like, "You've had better ones than that."
Aaron, I will grant you a free extra attack because when it ran past you, I should have given you an attack of opportunity. And I do apologize about that.
No worries, no worries.
So you may get an extra basic attack upon it if you are going for a aggressive approach.
So you just see Aaron just pop out of the grass, like the most cartoony way. Like, what the hell, guys? I was almost there. I was about to get it. I was about to snatch you. Why'd you guys go in here and do that for? And then I guess they're gonna just start running at it. I guess we're gonna hog tie it, and I just run over it, jump up, and try to tackle it, grabbing it by the neck and trying to pull it down.
Oh, okay. So you're jumping up on its neck and using your body weight to pull it off to the side, pull it sideways onto its side. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going for a grapple check.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll athletics for me. This is... Oh. No! 5? It got a 10. So you come running at it. You're like, I got this, and you leap up, and it moves its head to the side, and you realize you're gonna cut yourself in half in midair, and you just kind of like lean back as its head swipes, and you kind of like do the whole like turning sideways. You jump prone. You jump prone and dodge and like you were able to flip around, land on the ground. So you're not prone or anything like that. It's just flashy. And so your first grapple misses. But that's a free attack. So go ahead with your normal attack action.
Okay. I am going to try it one more time, but from on the ground, I'm going to grab its hoof, see if I could pull it down.
All right. Once again, an athletics check.
15.
Let's roll again. Also 15.
What is it?
You win. I'm pretty sure I got a 6.
Okay. I was expecting just like get stomped and just roll out of the way.
So you grab at its hoof, and you both like struggle at it, and then eventually you're able to like last minute just give that oomph and give it a good toss, and it does collapse, or it doesn't necessarily collapse, but now it is unbalanced, and you have it by like the hoof, and you've grappled it.
Yeah, I'm picturing it. Me, I have an arm bar, but it's on the hoof.
Mm-hmm. And you have a second attack now, don't you? Being a monk.
Yeah, and also since I have the Tavern Brawler skill, it also gives me another thing.
You get a free, you get a free attack after a grapple. Or no, it's every improvised weapon attack you get to have a free grapple.
Oh no, it's when I hit a unarmed strike. So no, I had to punch him first.
Yeah, so
Okay,
basically, when you hit someone with unarmed or an improvised weapon, you get to have a free bonus grapple.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay down there and just hold on to him.
Okay. If you want, you can use the same grapple rules to do I think like attack to knockdown. Attack to move. Like you can, when you have someone grappled, you can move half your movement. You can drag them around, and you can also, I believe, use an attack action to knock prone. So if you have multiple attacks, you can try to get the horse onto the ground this turn if that is your intent.
All right. Yeah, I'll use my bonus action to try to knock it down, keep it prone.
All right, go ahead and give me and I believe it's an attack roll to do the knockdown.
So just a regular unarmed strike then?
I believe so. I'm going to double check though. I love me my grapple rules. So much simpler in 5th edition.
I got a 14.
Got a 14? A 14? 14 hits. So, you've grabbed it by... You've given an armbar to a horse's limb, and then with a twist and a kick, you have pulled it to the side, and it is now on the ground and grappled. So you've effectively turned its movement into 0. And it cannot stand up while you are continuing to grapple it.
Say, look what I did. I could have done this earlier. What do you guys have to do with this, man? Oh, God dang. Y'all not used to this, aren't you?
Thalgris, right next to you, almost face to face, on the ground, is the horse that was just trampling you.
I keep a good horse down. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to take my warhammer, and as Art close to. Sorry, Aaron, are you close to the head?
I would think I'm close to the closer to the head, I guess. But
like
just
he's on the lower
leg,
end. He's on the hoof and body, or the front leg.
Okay. If the head is just lying, probably moving about on the ground, I'm just going to slam down with my warhammer.
All right. When you stand up, it does attack you with an attack of opportunity, but it is at disadvantage because it is also prone.
And I also get a reaction attack from it hitting me with my weapon because I have Vengeful Atta.
Oh! That's great. I got a... Where are you, warhorse? I lost my horsey. I only got a 14.
That a miss. My reaction attack is a 22.
That's a yes. Yes, you definitely hit it.
And that is 13 damage.
Fart. Yeah, you you just unceremoniously you get up. It bucks its head wildly, and you're just like, you move the blade from its head aside with your gauntleted offhand, and then push it aside and just, yeah. How do you want to do that? Like,
I just want to make the biggest pile of mash I can.
so Peter Jackson's Dead Alive / Brain Dead comes into mind with the amount of viscera and gore explosion that emanates from the concaving of the horse dome. As it's a pop, splap, and it's quick, and it's messy. And I would love a luck, so just a d20 roll from both Ariana and Aaron. And you know what? You too, Thagris.
13.
12.
15.
So the hammer is raised, and Ariana, your eyes go wide as you just quickly sidestep behind Salgris as he pops it like a watermelon in its Gallagher night, all right? And there is just that black ichor spray with chunks of other unsavoriness splashes over Aaron Turnbuckle. Like, your entire front side just, because you were like right there. And Thalgris, most of your like lower half and like upper shoulders, but like there's this one spot where it's like comes up your chest, and then it's like your face, and it's pretty much the outline of your hammer is the only thing that isn't gored on your body. It's just your face and a little strip down the center, while the rest of you is also rather coated.
I'll reach up and using 2 fingers just sort of wipe the tops of my cheeks as if to give me that sort of like ninja markings. Even though I'm already a black dragonborn.
How dark can you get? Black on black on black on black. I was a Goth kid. It makes sense. So you are victorious over the undead warhorse that you get up. The smell is horrible, and then out of the black ichor of the what used is the neck. What the black ichor that comes from the neck starts to turn white. And anyone can give me a health or a nature check. Or medicine or health. I'm sorry, medicine check or a nature check.
16 on that nature check.
Natural 20 on the medicine check for a 24.
I got a 3, so doesn't matter.
Perfect. I was really hoping for that. So, just to make things worse for you guys. So the ichor that starts pooling out of the neck starts turning white. And as Aaron as you peek closer, and you're like, what the hell is that? It's moving a lot faster than the blood. And then it starts to like wiggle and move, and both of you two are like, that is the biggest pile of maggots that is spewing from that body. And from then you start to hear the sound of buzzing in the area. Yeah, I gotta hurt you. I gotta hurt you in here and in here, He's like, I can't do anything to you with my creatures.
I just let it go and I just book it to like the river or something. Like, what the hell's that?
Let it
With the water.
go, let it go. All those
like, I'm just
maggots have got to flow. Let it.
Go ahead. It's fine. I'm just like nervously just trying to wipe it off. Like, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off.
And yes, it does. There's now swarms of flies that are now starting to gather.
I don't wipe it off. I take it on and just start walking.
Is there a river nearby that Aaron ran to?
You know what? Let's just there is not. There is no river nearby. You found there's maybe a muddy crook, but it's like more mud than water.
Jump in the mud.
Can I get a perception or an investigation check from all three of you?
That's a 2.
23.
17.
So, you, Thalgris, you walk away, like, triumphant and rejoicing, not rejoicing, but feeling your kill and knowing you have released this beast. Aaron, you, of course, are flopping like a mud skipper. And Ariana, you get grossed out and you're kind of looking for like where can you clean up, or I mean you don't have to, but like where can they get helped, and yeah, that pile that's forming out of the beast, you see that there's a glimmer on the ground where the head was, as there's still the blade. The sword is still hanging, still lying amongst the viscera.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the end of my cloak and wrap it around my like use it as like an oven mitt or something, and like get close to it and try to grab it out of the ichor and disgusting things.
Excellent. So, yeah, you pull out this sword, and the blade actually has like a waviness to it, like it's like a one-handed sword, but in the style of a flamberge. So the wavy blade, or even a kris. Once again, a wavy blade, but more of a point on that one.
I'm keeping it. Even though it's disgusting, I'm trying to wipe it off on the grass a bit of ways and try to like clean it off a little bit, but I'm keeping that.
Okay. You come back and find the others. Aaron is now looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator. And Thalgris looks like Bill from, or not Bill, but Uma Thurman from Kill Bill.
I've also walked over to find the nearest tree, and I'm still pissed. So I'm taking a good old swing with my warhammer at the tree.
Ooh, all right. You know what? Give me an attack roll.
$17.
So the one tree that's out there, the one that looks like it had been previously struck by lightning, there's already a nice split down the middle, but still it's connected at its trunk, and you just drive your hammer down the middle, and with a loud crash and creaking and breaking and snapping, the two halves finally finish. You finish the job the lightning started, and it just snaps wide open. And you get a glimmer of hope because of this charred, blackened, broken tree. Once you've broken away the two halves, you see that hidden in the split, which is now revealed to you, is a small sapling of growth. One little limb still alive.
I raise the hammer, and then I just sort of rest it on my shoulder and turn around and walk away.
From the crow. Which, as you guys wander away, the crow does find quite a feast for itself in the carcass of the undead horse. Anything else at this poor abandoned, well, not abandoned, but poor desolate farmhouse?
Is there like I don't know if it's a silo or something, just anywhere where they might have food or like stuff like that?
Okay, all right. So you're looking for like maybe like a little barn off to the side?
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it looks like if there was anything here, it was ransacked long ago.
I think Ariana watched Thalgris have this moment of just like during this time, this person who has been steadfast, who has been calm, cool, and collected, and has made the right choice over and over again, suddenly did something destructive. She wasn't close, so she didn't see the life. So to her, in her mind, it was like, okay, he's really got something eating at him. But she doesn't say anything and just kind of smirks and follows him as he walks away, like logging this moment, and then looks over at Aaron and like, did you try to go for a facial or what's happening here?
Well, it works for the pigs.
True. We need to find a bathhouse, if those still exist. I cannot travel with both of you being this disgusting.
How else may
Speak
you
for
feel?
yourself.
The if you decide to keep traveling, or are you guys hunkering down? It's about
I'm not willing to sit down. I want to keep walking.
Okay, perfect. So yes, as you guys are collecting your thoughts and trying to, it's like facial and everything, and Thalgris overhears you and says his remark, and he just continues striding away without looking back, and gets to the road. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm not moving too quickly, but I'm not looking back either.
He sets the pace. I'm assuming you two follow behind.
Mm-hmm.
Coming down the road, you find that the fields that have been unkept start to kind of die down. And it looks like it's no longer farmland in this area. It looks like it's been well trampled. Like, this used to be fertile, like farmland where you're at, and it's just like there's a gap. There's a the field that you came from, and then it looks like maybe a large group had maybe moved this way and had like flattened the ground and all the crops that were here moving through, and then they pick back up again as you continue traveling, and you find that there's several of these type of like cuts in the untended farmland. The road eventually starts going up the hill, and when you crest the hill and you get to look down, you get a pretty decent view, and you can see off not too far, maybe another couple days travel, maybe just one more day if you really like truck hard, there is the Kingdom of Gardenia. You can see its great big defensive wall, and you can see what used to be the silhouettes of buildings in the silhouetted on the horizon. You're now just seeing smoke, just lots, just smoke, and then an orange glow in some areas from this distance. The land all around it, you can actually see where the grass has changed color, where you're the field of just regular green grass, and then you can see the land shift as it becomes muddier and muddier until it's just caked mud all around the perimeter of the castle, and there's now a ramshackle wooden shanty town built in the front, like the front gate of the kingdom is now surrounded by the shanty town. That looks maybe like a quarter of the size of the kingdom, so it's still a rather sizable town built at the front of the kingdom. And your eyes start to track left, and the land from where it's all muddy and it becomes grass, and then it starts to slope down to the beach side, and you're at the southern shores of Gardenia, and you see that there's just a host of tents, like a small army's worth of tents are along the beach side, and there's also handfuls of boats. You see that there's a makeshift dock. No large vessels or anything. Maybe a handful, maybe a couple of merchantmen, just a couple of smaller transport vessels. They're built for cargo, not built for battle. And it's starting to become evening time. Not dark. It's still plenty of light. It has the sun hasn't crested over the mountains yet. But you start to see that there are a line of torches being lit in the distance from the shoreline and the campsites that also lead to the front of this kind of ramshackle town. And it looks like there's some sort of trail that's also there. So to your direct left is the coastline, and you see the docks and tents, and then directly ahead the ramshackle town and the Kingdom of Gardenia. But you still have a downhill trek, and then another few fields worth of travel. So about a hard day or 2 easygoing days of travel to get there. And to either location, if you want to check out the beach first or the kingdom first. To the north, looking to the right of the kingdom, you see that the road, the King's Road, moves up, and it goes into the woods. The woods are really very thick up in that. Sorry, I'm having to remember the map. I apologize, guys. But yeah, so to the north there's a thick patch of woods that you would have to go through to basically leave this sector, as it were. It's the best way. But yeah, so your locations are as described.
All right, so I run and jump on Dalgris's back and ask him, "Hi, Dalgris, I kind of want to go over there," and I point over to the kingdom and the lights. Maybe they're still good, I don't. Well, maybe they're hiding. I don't know. Is it okay if you check? Well, we don't have to if you don't want to.
I don't see how you can have so much hope. The
Well,
world is not the same.
it's not. That's true. But if you give up, if any of us give up, then what's the point? I'm gonna go. I jump off and start walking over there.
You have an Aaron print on your back.
I'll keep walking for 30 seconds. And then I'll turn and follow Aaron.
I think Ariana stayed behind because she's kind of like Thalgris is like got some angst here. And I'm like trying to be this like this is drama. This is like conscientious, like she's just like watching this drama and this like change in this person unfold and watches him as he turns. She like smiles and follows. Like that's it.
What pace are you all going to be setting for this next batch?
I think we should go somewhat slow so it won't be suspicious, so people won't like, hey, we should probably hurt them. So I'm gonna put my hood on and just try to look as casual as I can as I just walk over that direction.
Yes, this casual mud-caked hooded figure.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
There will be before you get to the town. You'd have to stay the night somewhere along the way. But who would like to roll the random encounter chart?
Go for it, Aaron. You're leading.
Okay. What do you want me to roll?
Oh, just a d20.
14.
14, all right. Traveling along the road, it does start to become nightfall, and there's a bit of a chill in the air. Once you've descended all the way down the hill, you can't quite see. The land is a little rolling, and you can't see the torches in the distance like you could before. You can still see the castle walls, and you're like, definitely by tomorrow, probably even by early midday, you should be able to make it. But it is definitely need a space to crash. Think of rolling hills. You got intermittent patches of trees, some fields here and there, and the fields also, once again, that kind of like hip high grass. So where would you like to try to sleep for the night, or how would you like to try to bunker down for the night?
So, like, we could either go to the town or to that little like patch of like foresty area.
I was saying like the three major locations that you could see earlier were the batch of tents and the docks, the ramshackle city that leads into Gardenia Prime, and then the North Woods that leads to a long winding path that leads to the neighboring kingdom of Enril. That's what it was. Thank you. And in a day's travel, basically by tomorrow early midday, you should be able to reach your location of choice. But for tonight, you need to find a place to bunker down to rest if you're going for to have a long rest for the night, because you guys said you're going for a slower pace. So it's like you've got fields. Maybe there might be another farmhouse you could find, depending on your guys' investigations. But there's like intermittent patches of like trees, like maybe like 5 or 6 trees and a little patch here or there off the beaten path But right now, you guys are just on the road. There's, hip high fields of the wheat and grass near you guys intermittently. So basically, it's like, what type of terrain and scenario are you wanting to hunker down in for the night?
Where do you guys want to go?
So the road is not incredibly well traveled. We haven't seen people moving along it or anything like that.
That is correct. Since you've been traveling, you haven't seen a single soul travel down this side of the road. And if you remember what Gator and Thalgrim had been talking about, is that ever since the fall, there haven't been that many people. There was a batch of refugees and people that came through. They were very troubled, very like anguished and hurt. But a lot of people just like they came through, didn't stay, were weirded out, and they just kind of scattered. And Thalgrim and Gator just they stayed behind and took care of each other. They had enough on their plate to deal with that they couldn't help every refugee. They offered them all a big old bowl of tater onion soup every time, but
so I would say probably closer to the road. Just that way we're not moving far away from it. We're gonna head down it as soon as we get up. Like just trying to make camp near the road and away from like potential where wildlife could come in if it exists in its form anymore.
Okay.
That would be my vote.
So someplace that's out of the way, off the side of the road, not too close from animal turf. All right. Go ahead and roll me a survival.
Oh, 14.
Yeah, you find a decent spot. There's like 3 trees almost set up in like kind of like a little triangle formation. That's off the side of the road. Not too far, like it's still within eyesight, but it's far enough that if people could walk by, if not notice. You think, you hope, But as I say that, as you guys are hunkering down for the night, what is the sleeping arrangements? Is there watch? Do you guys start a fire? Do you hunt for game? It has, you do have some taters and some some raw some taters and onions raw from Gator before you left.
I'm happy to keep watch. Somewhere out in the open underneath the moon.
If Thalgris doesn't feel safe there, Thalgris doesn't feel safe anywhere. Shard's blessing.
Okay.
Who will take second watch?
I can take second. I'll take second watch.
All right. And so that means Ariana's going to be the early riser. And yes, fires, any food making, like how do you guys hunker down for the night? What's going on? Paint me a picture.
I think Ariana would make the fire, get it set up, sort of, make a sort of gathering place and at first just kind of sit by the fire and regard it thoughtfully. As far as like the potatoes and onions, I think like maybe cutting them up and roasting them would be the best bet. Because I certainly don't think I have a pot or anything I could cook anything like that in.
I have a pot. Would you like a pot? It's so I see her taking food. I was like, "Hey, it's a little dirty, but here you go."
Okay, this could work. I throw the potatoes and the onions in it, a little bit of water, and try to make a soup.
Yeah, you know what? Give me a survival check. or nature check.
Let's see.
Can I help? Can I help her because I gave her the pot?
Are you trained in survival or nature?
Survival.
Ah, then yes, you can give advantage.
Okay. So my first was 8. No, my first was 11. My second was 8. Sorry.
Okay, you make a basic stew. You know, it's you didn't have any spices or anything. The fact that it's edible, it's potatoes and onions. You know what? It'll do. It's just fine. It still smells pretty good. Cooked onions always smells pretty good. You didn't burn it, you didn't F it up, but it's not spectacular. It is food. And you guys have your dinner. And Ariana, Aaron, start to lay down for your first bit of rest while Thalgris watches.
I think as they do this, Ariana kind of lays down and like looks over at Aaron and says, "Is Thalgris okay?"
I don't know.
He seems a little driven.
Yeah, I saw what he did to that tree. You don't cut trees with hammers. That's the thing. That was weird. But maybe he just doesn't understand how to cut a tree. But I could be. I don't know. He does look too happy.
I don't know. I kind of feel it though, like the destruction of it. Like it kind of makes sense to me.
Well, I get it. I got mad when I found Daddy, and the guy did a thing to Daddy. I get it, but if you go too far, they might not be good. That's the thing.
Do you ever think like maybe that wizard or whatever he was, I don't even know. Maybe he saved your daddy?
He said, like, okay, here's the thing. He didn't. How would he say that? That don't make sense. All right, that don't make sense.
Look, if your daddy was here.
If Daddy was here, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
I guarantee you it would have happened.
My daddy can do it. All right.
Your daddy could have saved all of Gardenia?
With him, my mom, my brother and my sister, all of them, they could have kicked their asses, all right? Don't you dare. Don't.
I'm sorry.
Don't.
Everything I've heard about your mother, if someone's going to stop it, I would bet it would be her. If she couldn't stop it, I mean, don't get me wrong. Your dad's impressive. But, I mean, stopping this.
Can I get a stealth roll from both of you two? And Thalgris, can you roll a perception check for me?
Can I get advantage because of my elven kind?
You've been yelling and getting upset.
He's in whisper yelling. I rolled a 13.
Me too.
Hey, Thalgris, what'd you get?
I just posted it in our chat.
Oh, okay.
22.
So, yes, Thalgris, I want to let you know that you do hear this entire conversation, and you can butt in whenever you would like.
I hear it, but I'm not going to respond because my time is spent not in prayer, but as if I was saying a prayer, just in anger that Shah, that didn't seem to have the power to even know where we were, and then to accuse us or accuse me of forsaking her.
Oh, I am so sorry. We should pause. Somehow OBS froze all of our images. Oh, okay. Wait, no, aren't. How is. Okay, art's back. Why aren't we moving? We'll be right back. And that fixed it. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Thagris. You're feeling betrayed.
okay.
You're feeling.
Like I somehow have lost the trust of a parent, so to speak, without having done anything wrong. None of what I've done since then has been in her name.
Go ahead and give me that angry religion check.
That's an 11.
Your anger and your feeling of being wronged, and you're trying to maybe, I don't know, get the message across, find guidance, try something, anything, and the mistress is as elusive as ever. For how vocal she was earlier that day, you heed no response tonight. Whether it is due to her judgment or to being clouded by anger, you are unsure, but you are left without a message tonight. Anything else that you two wanted to say hiddenly?
I just look at her like a little kid who's like whose hero just got talked bad about. It's like and just turn around in bed in the grand turret. Just don't look at her.
Then you two finally let yourself fall asleep on a full belly of potato and onion. Thalgris, you're up on your watch, and it's about, I don't know, maybe another half an hour before you're about to wake up Art for his shift, when you hear some movement on the road getting closer.
Do we still have a flame going?
Go ahead and just give me a random 20 roll. We'll see how your luck is.
13.
13. It is, you have embers. You know, enough to keep warm and to keep your camp warm right now, but no large open flames.
I'm just going to roll over the rest of the fire to cover it up with my body.
All right. Roll a stealth check.
Nine.
I rolled a 7. So you crouch down low, like lay down, and then slowly turn over with your breastplate over the flames to try to muffle the glow, and try to hide your presence. The sound of movement from the road gets closer, like maybe like a 40, like they're coming up from way ahead, and they're getting closer, and they're now like parallel to you. Like you're directly off the side of them. And when I say them, it's because you do hear multiple hushed voices. You can't make anything out, but you can tell that there is a conversation taking place, and you do hear the footfalls of multiple people as well.
Does the sound like just travelers, or does it sound like marching?
Give me a history check.
16.
So the boot sounds that they're making, it doesn't sound like anyone's like, they're not like marching in order like but you do get the presence, like these do sound like the footfalls, the power of the footfalls definitely sounds like some from people who've done a bit of marching in their day, but you do not hear actual like marching. If that makes sense. They have heavy, powerful footfalls a soldier might have.
I'm just going to stay still and quiet and just try and listen as they walk past, see if I can catch anything as they continue past.
All right. Give me a perception or investigation check.
That's a 9.
Yes, well, mead, yeah, mead. Yeah. Only getting a snippet here and there, but nothing that can really convey a message or intent. And slowly, if you don't do anything, the sounds of the footfalls and the conversation drift away behind you and slowly fade from earshot.
I will get up and remove all of my armor and try and follow them quietly.
Ooh. Okay. What type of armor are you wearing?
It's chainmail, I think.
Chainmail. Okay. So yeah, you shimmy out of it, and give me a stealth check if you're trying just to not wake up your comrades.
Something about that D&D Beyond that Marlo likes to say. That was another nat 20, so that's 19.
So you just gingerly lift it up and off of you, barely making a clink of a sound as you set down your gear, and they are still snoozing away, and you're just down to your skivvies. Go ahead and give me 2 more stealth checks.
First one is a 5, the second one is a 12.
You begin to approach, staying off the side of the road, trying to travel maybe through the tall grass. And you get closer, and you're starting to make out silhouettes. There seems to be like 4 people walking together and carrying a small like a hand cart, like a 2-wheeled cart, kind of being pulled behind one of them. And just the silhouettes. And as you start to creep closer and you're starting to make out what they're saying, you snap on a branch. And they all kind of stop. They all look over. And they all turn back and they all continue walking. You lucky son of a... 4 rolls. 4 rolls. 2, 4, 2, 3.
That's all right. I realized I should have rolled at advantage because I have the Boots of Velvet kind, so I rolled 2 more stealths in case, and it was still only a 9 and a 12. So I was like...
All right, so what is it that you're wearing besides, you're just wearing like the boots and loincloth?
Pretty much, and the rest of me is just the raw hide of scales, which is not giving me any armor benefit.
No, but you got the cover of darkness, and your natural scale pigment will help with that. So you get even closer, and you start to make out what they're saying. Yeah, well, I mean, if we can just get another batch, we can get that sent off. You know, we might be able to get transferred if we get enough done. Yeah, but I mean, how much can you take? I mean, we're starting to... Yeah, we know you got a weak constitution. I like my job. Well, of course you do. You think freaking sawing logs is fun. It is. I just cut, and it falls. And so they're an odd conversation between people who obviously are well versed in each other. And you get a little bit closer, and you do see tabards of the runic empire. Though they're not. You're used to more regiment. You're used to more professionalism. These guys, like the one tabard is like half tucked, like off to the side. One looks like it's half burnt in the back. Another one's just covered in stains. Just kind of just looking real sloppy. And their conversation kind of continues with just kind of inane goings on of their day-to-day life. Nothing important stands out except for kind of what I said. We're getting once we get enough of them, maybe we can get a transfer. We can get out of here. We just gotta rack up enough of them, send them out.
I got multiple ideas here, but I'm gonna go with one. I'm gonna turn around and return to the sleeping patch.
Give me one more stealth check.
Thank goodness for those boots. It was a 4 and then a 14.
Mm. Hey, what was that? What was what? It was over there. I didn't hear anything. No, I could have swear something was scampering. Oh, yeah, well, if it was scampering away from you, Smelly. Hey, fuck off! You make your way back to camp.
I nudge both of them awake.
Are you in your underwear? Dalgris, I like you, but it's not like that.
Again, do I notice anything special about Dalgris?
Yeah, they're lizards, so they're also innies.
Oh.
Yeah.
You sounded so disappointed.
Well, look at him. I thought it was going to be at least like, well, never mind.
Red Rocket.
Oh, well. I've never seen a Dragonborn's. Anyway, that's not the point. Why'd you wake us up?
I'm sorry. Yeah, what's up?
We just had a patrol walk past.
So you took your clothes off? What would you do that for?
I just look over at Aaron and sort of give him a look of, you know why.
He was going to
And-
seduce them.
Oh, you like them. That makes sense. All right.
I followed them for a while.
Oh, you
Didn't
really
seem
like
like-
them.
Didn't seem like they were on edge in any way, but they're from the Runic Empire.
So
They're
you
not
had to
from
take.
Gardenia.
So you had to take off your armor so they couldn't hear you.
No, I just really liked them.
I knew it. I knew it.
I gotta say, Dalgris, this new you, I'm impressed. So
I had a moment there where I was like, do I cast Moonbeam on myself just to make it all like glitz and glam and start dancing? But no, I decided against it.
no judgment, none at all. So these Runic Empire people, they didn't even see us. I mean, we're not hidden that well, are we?
They didn't seem like they were paying much attention.
Mm.
But I'm not sure if we're expecting them or those from the Kingdom of Gardenia.
Well, given that whole
If that
discussion,
exists anymore.
yeah, I was about to say that. Given that whole discussion, I wonder if it exists anymore. I'm sure there's got to be some rebels
It
out there, right?
does. It has to exist. Mama's still alive, and so are my siblings. They're still alive. Okay? They got to be. And when I find them, I tell them Daddy's here, and then all 5 of us are gonna get to work. Promise you.
Oh, buddy. I'm going to break
In
you.
any case, I'm getting back into my armor.
Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
I mean,
It's a little cold out here. You know what I mean?
is that really effective? Wow. Okay.
The rest of your night goes unassaulted. The last shift goes through. You, Aaron, you stay up. Nothing happens. You wake up, Ariana. Nothing happens. A long, boring morning. And the sun begins to crest, and as soon as it hits over you guys, it's you normally wake up to the chirping birds, and it's just quiet. It's just very, very still. But the sun feels good. Feels like there's a little light in the world. And an eclipse, and then the end of the world, and goodbye. So the next morning, you gather your supplies, snuff out your embers of fire if you decide to rebuild one. Maybe munch on a old fried tater. But the next morning, they're looking out at the road. Doesn't look like there's anyone out there. And it doesn't look like whoever was sent out that night ever returned. Because you guys didn't hear anyone come back that night. And so if they're still out there, they are still from whence you came. Those 4 runic soldiers. The path ahead, clear. There's but the smoke of the kingdom, you can start to smell it in the air. You can kind of taste it when you're like discussing and talking amongst each other. kind of like the whole like Mordor world of industry type of like smog is starting to kind of like filter through. And in the early morning, mixing with the early morning fog that kind of goes over the over the road and kind of streams out down towards the ocean. So it's like it's very hazy. It starts getting like you can see the black smoke in the distance just because it's a bit of a stronger discoloration from the mist and the dispersed smoke that's around you. So basically, your sight is a little limited, but it's not like you're I can't see fog in front of your face type of thing. But your travels are seem to be rather smooth. When you guys start to approach the ramshackle town, what are your plans as you guys are getting closer?
Yeah, I think as we're walking, Ariana just kind of like poses the question to like talk to them about like what are we doing, where are we going, what are we looking for, like she's just like so we're looking for your family, right, Aaron? And we're looking for this general. Do we know if they're here?
Well, we could always look. That's why we're coming here anyway, right? If I find my family, and then with all of us, we could kick this general's butt, and then we can call it a day, and then we can go home.
But the thing about that is, wasn't your mom someone important?
Yeah.
Wasn't she like some sort of commander or something like that?
Yeah.
If we could find a unit or find whatever vestiges of the army are left or some old veteran hanging out in a bar somewhere, we might be able to find out what happened to her and get a lead on where to go. But we should be very, very certain that we do not tell anyone who you are.
Okay. All right. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I just put on the hood and like, I'll be all sneaky like, and they won't know that I'm me.
I'll do the talking if that's okay, Aaron.
Sure. Oh. And well, if this means I don't gotta wash this off, I'm fine then.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna recognize it's you.
What's your name?
Aaron.
See, that's my point. We need a new name.
New name. Aaron. But with an A.
Let's go with that.
You just gotta introduce yourself as I'm Aaron with an E every time.
It's like Eric with a K.
Ariana gives one of these to Thalgris. And then says, okay, so we'll do the talking. We'll let Aaron with an E hang out in the back.
Yeah, I'm not volunteering for talking. I'm not good right now, and I am probably not the best anyway.
So now when you're not in your skivvies, you don't want to talk. Okay.
So now you know how to get him to talk.
As she says that, she just like, so we're heading towards the city, right? there's a shanty town between us and the city.
Yeah, think of Blighttown, or think of Resident Evil 4. Think of like, like Eastern European style, mixed with like refugee camps like District 9, like where, like these are buildings made out of other scraps of buildings. And the architecture is a little all over the place.
Yeah, so I think heading there is the first kind of like step, because then we can get some information. We can kind of figure out like these people are right next to what used to be the capital, so maybe they're a little more in the know about, what's happening. I think the tavern's always the first stop. So if there's a little beer joint or tavern or counter where they serve alcohol.
Excellent. So as you get closer, and the you start to make out the structures I mentioned earlier, as the as you get closer, and the fog begins to kind of part for you through your vision, and the first building you do see, though, right next to the road, is of good construction, and looks like a small, like a 5x10 booth, with and there's a silhouette that steps out from the booth, that's still in the fog. Not enough to make out yet, so it gives you guys time as well. But it seems that like the very first building that's just directly off the side, and someone steps out. Average height, humanoid.
And this looks like it's like a food counter, or like it's like they serve alcohol, or
no. This looks more like, when you're going into like a restricted area, like a compound, and there's a guard booth with a freaking arm. It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like more like a guard tower type of thing.
Yeah, Ariana's just gonna like try to walk straight past this booth, just like pretending like she totally belongs here.
Okay. Roll a deception or performance.
Maybe with performance.
And what about you two? How are you guys?
Somewhere along the road, I'm making sure I've got no markings whatsoever of anything resembling emblems for Gardenia, but I don't think I did have any, but I'm just checking in case.
No, if anything, you had subtle coloring and imagery of the runic empire, but not like obvious, and it was mostly Shar colorations and sigil work. And all the black blood. Oh, and Aaron and the mud.
Well, oh yeah, that's right.
I rolled a 17 on that performance check.
Okay. And do you two decide to do anything beside? You're just making sure I get nothing that shows Gardenia. You look clear.
And I'll just continue walking, following.
Okay.
I cover myself in more dirt to hide my appearance, and I jump on Thalagris's back.
Okay.
If he lets me.
The fog clears more as you get closer, and there is a runic soldier who's got like a classic bullet helm that comes down to just the nose guard, with he seems to be kind of like leaning on basically a club. It's just like a polished baseball bat style, like, he's just kind of leaning on it. And he looks like he also like just woke up from a nap when you guys started approaching. And Marlo or Ariana comes striding by, and there's this black blood covered dragonborn with a hooded mudman hanging off his back. And he looks at all of you, and he doesn't even look twice at Thalgris and Aaron. But he looks at you, Ariana, even with your great roll. Hold on. Where are you coming from?
Doesn't it matter where I'm going? And I give him like this look like, you know.
Right. Where... What's your business?
Get a drink, have some fun.
He looks over his shoulder like at the city, and he looks back at you and goes, all right, yeah, you're definitely one of them. Carry on. And he dismisses you out of hand and turns and walks Ben in. And he just like sits down on this stool in his little guardhouse and just starts shaking his head in exasperation.
What does he think I am? Part of the oldest profession? I don't know.
When you guys get past the guard booth, and when I say ramshackle, like, and with odd architecture, I mean, there's no straight path anywhere. This is like, like in Europe when you have like those, you can barely drive your car through like little roadways. It's a mixture of all of that. Like, the paths are nothing but caked mud and hay, layers and layers and layers and layers, and it's just muddy. It's like the first scene in Monty Python Holy Grail. It's like, oh, bring out your dead. Oh, he must be a king. Why? He doesn't got shit all over him. There's like, the buildings range to like, squat little houses to even like some are half submerged in dugout like dirt, like half squat buildings. There are some that are like 2.5, 3 stories tall with like rope bridges strung between them. You cannot see the front gate of the castle because there's so many twists and turns and bends in the roads. And like the buildings, not all of them are square. Like it is literally, the construction is questionable. And it's just a lot of like loose cobblestone plastered together, thatch roofs, and a lot of like wooden shacks and dirty, messy. You see some window shutters open, and someone just tosses out their piss pot right onto the floor. And they look down and they see you. Ah! 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 And as you guys keep walking, just keeps like squawking at you.
I do it back. I do it back at her. Me.
Not like the crow. And slams door shut, or the shutters. The fog is still drifting in and out of this place, and the smell of smoke that comes with it is now starting to get mixed in with like just dung, refuse, rot. You come out into a like the first like not road, like a small like clearing, and there's like a couple of buildings. One of them might be a tavern. It definitely has one of those hanging signs, but it's so weathered you can't read what's on there. Kitty corner in the square. There's a small, possibly temple. I mean, it has kind of the Catholic architecture. And with, kind of these double doors, but like it's been cobbled together in the semblance of. And there's a man in like white robes, and with a little skull cap of white, and he just beckons at you. He's got like a long, wispy orange and gray beard, and his eyes seem just so far away. And he gestures, like, follow me, come in. And he turns around and opens the door to the church. But the backside of his robes are completely open, and there's just a half-naked man there with, like, serrated slash marks all up and down his back. There's a by the tavern. All you hear is like a sound of coming from inside where you think the tavern is.
I'm going to stop before we go anywhere and turn towards the others and say, Didn't Thalgrim say something about a madness?
What do you mean? Algris, what you talking about?
I've seen priests show their ass before, but never out in public. Look,
A story for another campfire.
look, whatever's happening here, it's not normal. These people, they're wrong. And I think whatever madness overtook this place, whatever madness people are dealing with here, whatever horrible things they dealt with, it broke them.
Well, maybe we can fix them.
Maybe. But we might not get the answers we're looking for here. We need to find someone coherent.
We also have to realize that we might be on our own.
That's true.
Well then, are we going to go into that place, or are we going to follow Naked Butt Man, or are we going to get out of here?
I mean, I don't know. Go to a tavern and ask questions. That's the only thing I've ever done in my life. So that's, I guess, where we can try.
All right. But am I even allowed in there? I don't even know if I can drink.
Just pull down your pants if they think that you're not old enough.
Yeah,
And
I did not know that's how that worked.
if we're gonna compare this to medieval society, basically, if you can work out in the fields, you can have a beer.
There we go.
All right.
I mean, when the beer is safer than water in most places.
I think I need to make it clear that was a joke. What I said before, that's not really, don't do that.
And you just see him looking down his pants. Okay.
So you decide to investigate the bar.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, as
Oh,
you
yeah. Yeah, do one thing before we go in. It's like, hey, got an idea, just in case, to make sure they don't know who I am. And okay, here's the thing: I'm dirty, so they don't know I'm a half elf. All right, tell them I'm a goblin. I remember last time we saw those things a while back. Remember that they were wearing colored clothes like that too, I think. So maybe they might think, hey, that's one of them. And they're like, I'm just hanging out with my buddy. I got pointy ears like them.
Or, maybe if you just stay quiet, they just won't think you're all there like the rest of everyone else. We're all everyone's kind of not in their right minds right now. If you're quiet, maybe they'll just think you're not in your right mind, like everyone else.
All right. Think I got it. Shut up. Don't do anything. Gotcha. All right.
and now
Okay, Aaron. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and now you know why the guard reacted as he did when he got the responses he got from you, and didn't look twice at the weirdos. You acted so damn normal and nonchalant that he questioned you. So the high roll was a bad roll.
There you go.
But as soon as you started like answering weirdly, he was like, oh, "Okay, never mind." Like,
Yeah, so we're going into the tavern.
all right, as you enter the tavern, it's you don't see anyone actively in here. You still hear that noise from behind, like where like the counter is. But there's a couple of like tables that look like they were put together out of like some people make old dock working like spools of rope and turn those into tables. It's kind of like those, just upturned wheels on their side, and stools here and there. But it's like once again there's just like cobwebs everywhere. There's like moldy food on a couple of plates. You hear like the faint buzzing of flies, but mostly just a. The room itself is like about 30 foot, 30 by 30, in not in a perfect square. It does appear that there is a back room with a door behind the counter. There's no second story, and most likely you would find like in situations with taverns, what would be behind that door would probably be like the home of the tavern keeper and the kitchen, so they can serve foods that you'd assume. But there is no like, it's not an inn type tavern. There's no rooms for rent from the looks of it. It's just a mug house. There's shafts of light coming through cracks in the wall. There are no windows per se, but there are just like, gaps in the wall that there's like maybe like a hinge for a shutter here and there.
Where are the people?
I don't know. Hello?
Is that a doggy? I whispered into the Hugger's ear. Is that a doggy?
I forgot he was still on his back.
Ooh. I got dizzy.
It's certainly not a person. Not a person I think we want to be dealing with.
I get another doggy. This time I'll take care of him. Can I?
Only if you feed and water him.
They're not plants.
They still eat. Anyway, I'm going to try to find the source of this noise.
As you tiptoe forward and look around, and dip your head behind the counter, you do in fact find it looks like a mongrel dog licking at a pool of blood that leaks out from under the door that's into the back room. And it looks up at you and just continues lapping at it.
I'm going to reach over and open the door.
So
trying to keep my distance from the dog, but like...
As soon as you make any movement towards the dog in that direction, going towards the room, the dog immediately just bolts and scampers and runs right past. Art, here's your chance if you wanted to do anything, but it is a freaked out dog that's just fleeing.
I let it go, and because I know I'm curious about the door.
Okay. So
Bye,
dog
buddy.
runs out. There's the clatter 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 of its claws on the floor. And then it's still for a moment, and you turn back towards the door, and then you hear still.
Can I slide off Dalgrish's back and I'm gonna put my hood on so I can sneak slowly into the door. Like find a little shadowy spots and just kind of hide. See what I can find.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check to be a shadow against the door. And yeah, Ariana is like your hand is like right at the door handle when you heard that sound.
Okay.
And then you just kind of see
15.
Aaron with a 15.
Mm-hmm. And with my hood, with my oven kind, they get disadvantage on finding.
Oh, perfect. All right, so you're both in position. Thalgris, you're like still like kind of like in the entryway of the building itself, and they're now across the room about 30 feet, just over on the other side of the bar, and you guys are gonna open the door.
I'm going to stay in the doorway, just blocking the entrance or exit.
Do I see anything? Because I should be already in the room, right?
Oh, okay. So you I was getting you
Right.
like to the doorway of the back room, and you're opening it up.
Yeah, I wanted to sneak into the room.
Okay. So
Into
yes,
the room.
you with the 15. So you open up the door and you slide it open slowly, and you see a naked halfling, emaciated, with hair in ringlets that drape over its shoulders and back like a caveman, as it's just on all fours, just licking at this pool of blood of it looks like a human man who was like wearing a kind of like a butcher's apron, who's got like a butcher's knife just like in the side of his head, just laying there as this halfling is just licking at it at the blood.
Okay, I just awkwardly step out and go like, nope, walk out.
Ariana's gonna try to talk to this person.
So Art slowly opens the door and like sneaks inside, and he pops in. Slowly goes to shut it and sneaks back out, and you're like, no. And you pop back in. And what do you say?
Is that any good?
It looks up, eyes wide, sanpaku, like large whites under their eyes, and it just starts screaming at the highest pitch possible, and grabs like at the ankle of the body and just starts running away towards the back of the room. And the body's just getting drug.
It's all yours, friend. All yours. I don't want any part in it. All you. Yours.
You see that the one of the wide eyes that they have, you notice that it's actually not there. There's a bit of scarring over the eye, maybe like some burn or tear scars. But it just screams and it starts like clutching at that eye and starts grabbing at like pulls the shoe off this guy and throws it at you and just starts like clamoring and grabbing at anything and starts throwing it.
Look. I do my hands up. No hurt.
Make a persuasion check.
11.
Thalgris, can you roll a perception check for me?
That's an 18.
So as the screaming is going off in the back room, and you just see like the back of Ariana, and she's like kind of holding her up. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. And you get a feeling like a slight breath upon your back, the neck, like a whispered warning. And you turn to see that there are 6 humanoids that are kind of in a semicircle getting closer to you. And they're all bundled up in rags that look blackened, though they probably had color at some point. But through just griminess and unwashed, it just turned black. And they're not hoods, but like kind of like cowls or wide hats. And no two are the same. They all look very thrown together. Oh yes, oh yeah, yeah. And they all start like inching closer, and their arms kind of pop up, and they start kind of like getting closer, and they're like reaching out towards you, Thalgris.
I'll just, without taking my eyes off them, sort of tilt my head back towards inside and just say, "We got company. Do you want me to quieten them out?"
I'm trying to catch a moment of lucidity with any of these people so we can ask some questions or get some clue about where to go.
Are we fighting? Wait, I look crazy like them. Give me 1 second. And I just walk over to one of them. Ooh, God, yeah, wah.
So you like go you go to like where Thalgris is at the door, and you step out, and you just start acting weird.
I start acting crazy. It's like, rah.
Roll a performance.
12.
Two of them, and you can kind of see now like more of their faces, and they're like old looking washwomen. And, and two of them veer off, and they start like tucking and plucking at your cloak. The 4 others are nearing to Thalgris, and they start like petting the plates of your armor, or like caressing the cloth of your tabard. And they just they're very handsy and are touching you guys all over.
I touch them back.
It's like that one person on acid at the dance party.
Oh yeah, no, someone's on ecstasy right now. It's just
someone's on ecstasy right now.
Oh my God, this music! Can you feel this music? It feels so good. Oh my God, my beard is luxurious. Like, side topic. I was at a different D&D game, and a friend of mine, we're at his place, and he picks up a rabbit fur. Because, he's a medieval guy. He's got, like, furs and weapons and stuff. So he just, like, picks up this rabbit fur and just starts petting it while he's, like, describing something to us in D&D. And he's just, like, really just getting into it. I'm like, what are you on MDMA? What are you doing, Raver Kid? He's like, oh, God, sorry. But what do you do with the Raver Washwomen, my new band?
So Ariana looks backwards and sees what's happening, like just kind of like
a crowd forming at the door.
They're petting them
and touching the fabrics, touching the metal plates. They're enamored in some way. Oh, yeah.
Ariana grabs her cloak because she's wearing a big black cloak and undoes the ribbon on it at the front
Mm-hmm.
and like lets it start to fall, but then grabs it and does an anime like throw of a cloak and throws it back away from them.
So, okay, I just want to set the picture for you. Thalgris is in the door frame. Aaron has shimmied out between him, and he's like just outside the door. The 6 washwomen are now clambering over them. So you're trying to spin this and throw it over like Thalgris's head. To go off his head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it can like kind of go over them so they can see it, and it can attract them away from them.
Okay. Go ahead and give me either a performance or sleight of hand, or maybe even like a dexterity based attack throw.
I think I'm gonna go with performance.
Yeah, let's go with performance.
This
That
is
seems the best.
performance. Oh Lord, help me! I rolled a nat 1, so a 9 because my performance is 8.
1 it is. You grab your cloak and you spin it off, and it perfectly spirals, and you throw it, and you timed it wrong, and it flicks and actually flings backwards, and it covers the screaming halfling and the body. And as soon as it does, it's like a bird, and the screaming stops.
No, my cloak's all bloody. Okay.
Not as bloody. I mean, the body was dragged away from the rest of the pool of it. So, I mean, a little bit. A little bit. And I need perception checks from both Turnbuckle and Thalgris again.
I have a 4.
An 18.
Okay. Sticks, you're starting to feel those hands are starting to like dip into bags and are like trying to like get into like pockets, and you're feeling that they're doing some sleight of hand. Aaron, I need you to roll me a d20 of luck.
Here's the thing: all my pockets have dirt and mushrooms, so they can.
Right. Basically, how well you roll on this chart, something's getting stolen from you, and I'll get a list of inventory from you later.
Gotcha. Okay, so a d20.
Yep.
$13.
Okay. Just gotta make a quick note.
I did keep all of Aaron's
money.
Third of the money
yes,
we found.
I did remember that. Oh. I did remember you kept his money. All right. You are going to be missing your bag of mushrooms.
When I notice that, I'm gonna let out a roar.
I was waiting for it. Thank you.
And I'm gonna need every one of them to make a wisdom saving throw.
Do I need to take one too?
Yeah. Is it any creature
no.
or is it just enemies?
No, you're by choice.
Oh, good. You let out this bellowing scream, and what's the DC again? Want to make sure?
7.
7? Oh, that's right.
Because I have a -4 charisma.
Luckily, basically all the washwomen that were on you, they scatter. And they scream and they scatter, and they don't even run. They just like tuck themselves into a corner somewhere, like even like, you know, one like it just tucks down into a ball next to a bench that's out the like 10 feet away from you. But they all just scatter and then like tuck into corners like bad children. And just the two on Aaron though, they just like rear back, kind of afraid, and then they just like kind of nudge without any force, but just try to like pat themselves to the other side of Aaron, putting Aaron between you or putting air in between you and them.
Can I? So how many are behind me now?
Yeah, so you have two. Basically, it's you have two on your side next to the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, would you allow me to do a grapple so I can get them both in a headlock?
Yes, because I mean, you're a monk. You can attack with your offhand as a bonus action. So in one attack action, one bonus action, you can grapple two people. You can then move both people 15, 20 feet because you're a monk. Yeah, grappling with both arms, grappling two opponents in one turn. So good. So yeah, give me some grapple checks.
That's a strength check, or is that a
Athletics.
athletics check?
So better than strength. Strength and then some.
Missed one. $16 for the second one.
All right, so they're like, "Ooh, ah," and you like kind of grab both of them by like a part of their cloth, and one, woo, and she just like darts away and tucks herself into a corner somewhere, and you're left with like a shawl, a dirty, gross shawl in one hand.
All right, so I'll just throw it down. Did I grab the other one, or
Yes, you did grab the other one. The other one is oh no.
So I would just move her right under my arm and just kind of keep her head right there, like right under my pit. Just got right there.
Once you do that, you then take stock and notice that they are also similar to the halfling, got like burn and scratch marks on their eye, but this woman's missing one of her eyes, just straight up.
This place is starting to feel a lot worse now. And I just can't keep her there, and I'm like, should we stay? Should we go?
Should I stay or should I go now?
I think Ariana is gonna go over to the halfling. She's now like covered, and take a potato and shove it under the cloak.
Do not take this out of context, but make a handle animal roll.
Okay. I'm hearing you say halflings are animals.
That's what I'm not trying to say, but I'm saying you're using the same skills.
An 11? Could I get out from under these 11s?
Hey, do you have inspiration? I think I've given you guys inspiration if you wanted to spend it.
Oh.
Get that one free reroll.
Hey, 16.
That beats my 15. So you toss a potato underneath. There's a little bit of movement, and then you can hear. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to make the sounds of biting into a raw potato, but I mean, I'm sure it's like a worse apple.
Ariana speaks to it without revealing herself from outside of the cloak, and says, "It's good potato, huh? Good potato. Yummy." How long has it been since you've had a potato?
The eyes of the divine. The eyes of the divine. Please. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look.
Would never look. I would never. Look.
They want the eyes of the divine. The eyes of the divine, the eyes of the divine. Must drink the blood tears, must. The tears keep them away, the tears, let you see. The blood of the divine, the sight of the divine. Good potato, good potato. And he starts repeating back what you had said earlier, the good potato.
Good potato. Do you remember the time before? The time before all this happened?
It happens, it happens, it happens, it happens. It will happen, it will happen. It has happened, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Eyes of the divine.
What if I told you I could make it stop? But I need your help. I have another potato. I could give you that.
A hand comes out from underneath the cloak.
You get the potato, you answer a question.
Eyes of the
Good
divine.
boy, good halflings answer good questions. Good halflings get good potatoes.
Good potato, good potato.
Good potato. My question is this. Where is the general? Good potato for good answer.
Where's the general? There's no general. There's no general. There's no general. We're in general. Everything's generally dangerous. Everything general. And it just mutters to himself. You're able to kind of piece together through the mutterings. They don't know anything about a general.
What about an elf lady? Commander.
There's only one who commands us. There's only one who commands us. Dalsul commands us. Dalsul commands us. Ah!
Delsul. Good answer.
Dalsul commands us.
Good answer.
Don't look upon me. You can only see him with the eyes of the divine. We can only see them with your eyes.
My eyes.
Good
She cuts off half of a potato and puts it in the hand.
Meanwhile, the washwoman that you're gripping in a headlock, she's grasping and clamoring at your arm, and as soon as eyes of the divine are shouted from the back room, she turns stiff and has a faraway look in her one good eye, and she stops resisting and stops moving. And as soon as the name Dalsul is said, every time he says it, it's echoed by her, the other women, and you also hear from like a couple of the buildings, the muffling, like a recurrence of the name. Like they say it not as like Dalsul. No, every time he says Dalsul, they say it at the exact same time. Like everything's in stereo whenever the name Dalsul is said.
What are you on about? I look at her.
Dalsul! Oh no! I didn't please no. Dalsul!
Who's this? Dadpool.
And the names as also being said, Thalgris. You're taking this all in, the madness around you, and as soon as the name Dalsul is said, you can see down a windy side road, and your eyes catch it, and you see the silhouette of your lady Shar, and every time the name is repeated, like sped up film in a bad horror movie. She gets closer and closer, always in the shadows of the nooks of the buildings. And she puts her finger to her lips as she looks at you. They speak of the first. And then she just slinks back and disappears into the shadow. They speak of the first.
I'm going to cast See Invisibility and see if I can see where she went.
Interesting. Give me a perception check on top of it.
4.
You still see it, but the descriptor is going to be different. She starts to fade into the shadow and begins to disappear. And as she's starting to disappear, you widen your gaze to see beyond the veil. And as she is disappearing, you see her body deconstruct into light and into like a purple light with repeating runic symbols, and they spread out in all directions and then fade from sight, from even your invisibility. And then where they started to fade, you see like shimmering threads in the air that you have not seen before. And basically when the pattern of magical light will, like, when it starts to fade and like it stops abruptly and begins to fade when it strikes one of these threads that you only see when it makes contact. So it's like stream of energy, ting, suddenly it hits something and there's a thread, and then it all fades away into the thread, and then the silvery thread disappears.
I'm just going to take as much of that in, staring at that spot, and then start looking around, seeing if there's anything we've missed that we can't always see. I have this up for an hour.
Ooh, excellent. Okay, so what you do see, give me an investigation check.
That's an 11.
That's enough. You need to bypass a 10. So you look up at that, and you start to like kind of scan the rest of the sky, and then you spot something, a floating orb that looks like an eye. Not like a human, like gross, like playing Terraria, like floating eyeball. More like a magical sphere with like that's meant to represent and emulate an eye. Like there's like golden. It's a golden orb with a golden lid that's shut and open with like a very emerald looking piercing pupil. And you look over at it and you spot it, and then it dissipates, and you can tell that a spell has been the concentration has ended on the spell. If you would like to roll an Arcana check, I can tell you what you probably saw.
That was a 9, so
it could be some sort of summon. It could be maybe some form of familiar, or maybe a type of scrying, or you basically just know that that's definitely a watcher of some kind, and it was definitely a spell of some kind. Now that I've thrown you into this bucket of crazy and mystery, it's 9 o'clock now. I think this is where we're going to call it. How's everyone feeling?
good.
Yeah? Unnerving enough?
Good.
Yeah.
This
Nice.
is good.
If you guys want to find the inspiration for this scenario, look up Gym Kata, Gym, like going to the gym, Gym Kata, like a martial arts kata, Kata. Look up Gym Kata, Village of Crazies. I saw this movie when I was like 8, and this scene stuck with me. So those of you at home, if you want to know what the aesthetic I'm going for, give that a look. The movie overall is cheesy and terrible, but the art design and aesthetic are pretty amazing sometimes. Next session, we should have our Wizard, our 4th player. I was hoping to kind of get you guys into this town and do that stuff with him. I mean, I might have dragged it out a little bit, but I hope this has at least set a good air, a good theme, a good what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's lost on me. I just want to make it creepy. So in 2 weeks' time, let's double check the date. So on the 17th, we shall be reconvening. Is everyone good for the 17th?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, should be.
Hopefully. All right. So thank you again for joining the Gateway Wars, everyone at home. Thank you again, Marlo, Styx, Art. Always a treat and a pleasure. And yeah, we'll see all of you at home in 2 weeks. We'll be introducing a new character, and in a couple weeks after that, a returning character will come back for maybe longer than a cameo. Anyway, everyone, have a great time. Have a great night. Peace.